Hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another video, and for this video guys we're gonna be drawing Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen that was easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys will get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that he's not gonna end up looking like the reference 100%, but we do end up getting pretty close. Another thing is to do your line slide, because we are gonna be doing a lot of erasing. So first of all guys, we're gonna start by drawing a square. So the square is basically gonna be the size of his head, so depending on how big you guys want it, do the square. Once we have the square right here, we're gonna split it in half both ways, and just try to make it as even as you can guys, because we're gonna base basically everything off this square. So the better that you guys make it, the easier it's gonna be to follow the tutorial. Once we have that, we're gonna do this line on the bottom of the square, and then we're gonna do another one under that one, as you guys see right here. Once we have that, we could just extend that middle line going down, and then like in the middle of half of the square, I'm just doing this reference line. You guys don't have to do it, but I'm just trying to show you guys that in the middle of either side, we're gonna do his stomach, is where his stomach is gonna turn out. So we're gonna do a circle. So the circle is gonna be about half the size of the square. So I just use my finger just to give us an idea of how big to make it. So yeah, just use your fingers. So you guys can use a ruler or something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get as close as you can guys. Once we have that, we basically got our first shapes. From this we're gonna get everything else. So around here, basically in the middle of the circle right there of his stomach, we're gonna do these two lines going at an angle, and then we're just gonna go straight down to do either side, but we'll do that in just a little bit. Right here we're just gonna start off by doing the shoulders, which is basically like this circular shape, and then right at the bottom of the stomach we're gonna do this reference line. Once again, don't press hard, and then we're gonna, in between that, in the middle of the shoulder and in the middle of that line that we just did, we're gonna do another one, and this is just gonna give us the shape of his arm. And then right here is just gonna be his hand. Same thing on the other side. Look for the middle in between the shoulder and the bottom line that we did, and then we're just gonna do once again these three shapes for his arms. You guys could do circles if it's easier for you guys, and then we're gonna finish out by doing the legs. So something that I regret doing is I make the legs a little bit thinner than I would have wished for. So if you guys could do the legs a little bit thicker, then I have them here like thicker than the arms, I think it'd come a little bit more better, because I think I did them too thin, and it kind of throws stuff a little bit, but it's still alright. You know, you guys don't have to do it exactly the same. So we're just gonna finish off the bottom right there for the legs, and then right here we're just gonna do this gumdrop shape. So it's gonna have one in the outside and then two in the inside connected. That's just gonna be his toes. He does have 3 toes. Alright, so once we have that guys, we could basically start and working on the face. So right here guys, where the circle starts for the stomach and a little bit to the right of that left side of the square, we're gonna connect and round this off. Same thing on this side, a little bit to the left of the right side of the square, and then where the circle starts, we're gonna do that, and this is just gonna give us his bottom jaw. Now a little bit higher of the bottom of the square, we're gonna do another line, and then we're gonna do another one on top right here, right under that middle line going in the middle of the square, and this is just gonna help us do his like snout. So this is gonna be like a rectangle, but just with the sides rounded off. And right here, just pay close attention to how far it is from the side of the square. Alright, so now that we have that guys, we could go a little bit higher right here and a little bit to the left of the middle, and the same thing on the other side. Try to make it even. Both sides are basically the same thing. We're gonna do his eyes, which are basically circles, and they do touch the snout. So you guys could just go ahead and do that. I do a reference line on top of them just so I can know that one's not gonna be higher than the other one, and then just try your best guys, because probably one of the hardest things for me is just doing eyes. So once we have that, we could just do this line that connects both eyes, and then It makes this like rectangle shape right there, and then from either corner of that we're gonna meet up right in the middle, and it's gonna give us the shape of his nose. So right here I'm just erasing the inside of the eyes and then just some of those lines, because it does make it a little bit confusing having so much done there. So we don't need them no more, so we could just erase those lines. And then I do add the little 3 dots for his whiskers. I believe that's what it's for. Not that familiar with Freddy, guys, so I'm sorry. Alright, so now for his teeth, and that bottom line that we did earlier, we're just gonna do 4 teeth, 2 on either side. There we go. And then just space them out evenly, guys. Now the same thing we're gonna do 4 on top of that, and it's like exactly on top of it, but these are actually gonna come out of the snout, so just remember to do that. And then he does have 2 more on the bottom side, and I'll show you guys in a little bit how I did it right there, because it might be a little bit too small for you guys to see. So let's see, that's the tooth, so we just do these lines like that, and it gets smaller. The last one's gonna be a little bit smaller. There we go. Alright guys, so now to do the side of his face, so we're gonna extend that line, and then from the bottom right here of the square we're just gonna meet up, and just try to round it off. Look at the reference to get an idea of how to round it off, and then we just connect it to right there, and it's gonna give us the shape of his cheek. Now for the top, right in the middle of half of the square, so from this line to the outside, we're gonna look for the middle on both sides of the square. And then once we have that, we're gonna do this really long rectangle, and this is just gonna be his hat. We're gonna do another one, but this one's obviously a little bit smaller than the other one. And then we're gonna do one last one, but this one's a little bit closer to that middle one, and then we're just gonna extend it and basically make this square shape at the top, and that's just gonna be his top hat. Alright, so now we could just connect the side of his face with the top like that. It basically cuts off the corners of the square that we did earlier. Now we could just erase some of those reference lines that we did earlier. We don't need them no more, guys, so we could just erase them. Same thing with the corners right there, and just clean up the drawing a little bit. Alright, so now for the ears. Probably one of the hardest parts is gonna be the ears. So I noticed that it's right above, the ear starts right above the eyes, and they're basically just circles. I know they're kind of like these triangle, rounded off triangle shapes, but I'm not gonna worry about that, guys. We could just do circles for them, just because it is gonna be a little bit hard to actually do the same shape as the reference. So right there I do circles, and then I do erase it in just a little bit, because I do notice that the ears don't go higher than the top of his head. You guys don't have to do this. I just decided to do it just to make it a little bit closer to the reference. Honestly, I would have just left it like that, but I kind of wanted to add that and make it as close as I can to the actual reference. So right there I just do the ears once again. And then once again, it's just try to make them the same size, like both of them look the same. So that's what I end up doing right there. I noticed that the right one was a little bit bigger than the one on the left. Once we have that, guys, right there, we're gonna do this line right there, and then we're just gonna make this gumdrop shape right here coming out, and it should basically be the same. I don't know how to explain it, guys. The thickness outside of the ear should be the same throughout the gumdrop shape. And then he does have this little line that connects his ears right there. Alright, so now that we have that, guys, we can just connect the bottom jaw right there. And once again, just erase some of these reference lines. And now we could go ahead and do his eyebrows. So the eyebrows are basically the same length as his eyes. And then just try to do them the same either side, guys. The same size either side. Don't do one bigger than the other one. It's just going to look a little bit off. So it might take you guys a couple tries to do that. And now for the bottom, so right here we're just gonna do the straight line right there at the bottom of the circle of his stomach, and then we're just gonna do these lines that connect, that go straight up right there, and then just connect and make the square inside of the circle. So that's basically his stomach, guys. If you guys look at the reference, it's the lighter brown part. And for his tie, we're just gonna do a little circle with two like triangle shapes on either side, and it's just gonna give us the bow tie. Alright, so now we could just work a little bit on the stomach, and right here at the bottom, actually in the middle of the two legs, it's not rounded off, it's more of a triangle shape. So you guys could just kind of like do that triangle shape, and then right here for his knees we just do these two oval shapes. And then just do a line a little bit higher than the toes, and that's just gonna be his foot. Like I said before, something that I wish I could have changed and go back and change would be the legs. I wish I would have done them a little bit bigger than I have them here. And what I mean about bigger is just thicker, because they're too skinny right here. It's okay still, it doesn't make a big difference, but just by looking at the reference it would have made the drawing a lot better. Alright guys, now that we have that, we're going to do that little circle right there for his hand, and then we're going to do this oval shape right there really close to his body, and it's basically just an oval shape as I show you guys there. And then we're going to do this like other line going around the left side of the oval shape, and I'm show you guys right here what I basically did. It's just another line that follows the same shape, and then once we have that, we just connect it to the circle that we did inside of his hand, and that's just gonna give us the flashlight. And now he does have 3 other fingers right here, so there we go. And same thing for this side, we're gonna do this like little circle, and then on one side is gonna be his thumb, and the other one on the other side is gonna have 3 fingers. There we go, which is basically 2 little lines. And now we could just connect the shoulders to the jaw, and we basically are done, guys. Now we just need to clean up some of these lines that are not there, like this one on top inside of the hands, because earlier we did a circle. And there we go, and overall we're pretty much done, guys. So now I'm just going over the drawing and making any changes that I find necessary on my drawing. Just look at the reference and look at your drawing, and if you see something that you guys don't like, or that you guys forgot, or that you guys want to add, now's the best time to do it. So right here I'm just going over it and just erasing some of these lines, for example those that go inside of the mouth, that we don't need them no more. And once we have that, guys, we're basically done. So now just go over your drawing like I said, and if something doesn't look right, go ahead and change it. Maybe the ears are not the same, maybe the eyes or something like that. Now's the best time to change it. But for me, guys, once I have it done, I just go over it with the pen and then just erase the pencil just to clean it up a little bit, and then I do end up coloring it with my Copic markers, and then I end up going over the color or the drawing with my color pencils, just to give it a little bit more detail on the actual drawing, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a contrast. So for example, I just used the brown for his body, and then a lighter brown for his snout and stomach, and then I just used the black for his tie, the inside of his mouth, his eyes, his nose, his eyebrow, and his top hat. And then I just went over it with the white for the highlights and the eyes and the top hat as well. It just gives it a little bit more detail and stuff like that, guys. Instead of adding a gray and then a black, I just decided to go over it with the color pencil over the marker. And I think overall it came out cool. I like how it came out, guys. It's something that I just started doing, where I go over the marker with the color pencil, and I think they came out nice. I like it. Overall, it's I'm happy with it, guys. So yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of the drawing, and I'll be doing more of the characters from Five Nights at Freddy. And yeah, so let me know in the comment section if you guys did end up drawing him. Like, stop the video right now, leave a comment, let me know, because that's probably one of the only ways for me to know who drew the drawing, is for you guys to let me know. And also by leaving likes, it kind of like, by leaving a like, it kind of shows me that you guys watched the video. So I just want to appreciate for any of you guys that actually drew them. And if you guys want to send in your drawings to be featured at the beginning of my other Five Nights at Freddy drawings, or if you guys have any Five Nights at Freddy drawings, you guys can send them in to be featured at the beginning of my videos. Just send them to my Twitter or my email. The links will be in the description. Just remember to write your name on it, that way people know that you drew it, just like the one you saw at the beginning of this video. It's actually from the daughter of a co-worker. Her name is Jocelyn, and she sent me that drawing, and I thought it was pretty cool. So if you guys want your drawings featured at the beginning of other videos, make sure to send them in. And yeah, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.